Hello everyone and welcome to this new episode about the goal tree titled How Green is Your Goal Tree? I am Christian Hohmann, welcome to the show. If you are already familiar with the goal tree, you may not be familiar with using the colors for assessing the current condition against the benchmark. And if you are not familiar with the goal tree at all, I recommend you to watch my brief introduction to the goal tree. Once the goal tree have been built and scrutinized to ensure its logical soundness and robustness, the next step is to check the current condition against the goal tree, which is the benchmark. For doing this, I recommend to start at the bottom of the goal tree and to use the 3-color code, which is straightforward and familiar. For each entity, check if the condition is always fulfilled and mastered, and in this case, the color will be green. If the condition is not always fulfilled, if there is some variability, then turn it amber. If the condition is missing or failing, then it should be red. Work your way bottom up, branch after branch. The rule is that the worst color underneath will propagate itself up. For instance, if we have two entities as prerequisite to the above objective, one is red and the other is green, the objective above can only be red because if one of the two prerequisites is failing or missing, no way that our objective can be achieved, regardless of the status of the second necessary condition. If we have one amber and one green, the above objective would be amber, and it's only if both conditions are green that the above objective can be green. I also recommend that you discuss with the subject matter experts for every necessary condition in a tree, because sometimes just automatically propagating the color does not reflect the reality. For instance, we can have two green prerequisites, but still we have the above objective being variable for some reason. The objective should be amber, regardless of the two underlying green prerequisites. Remember, a goal tree is built on necessity logic, and the prerequisites are only enablers. Do not confuse with sufficiency logic, where the mere existence of the cause is enough to trigger the effect. At the end, you may well have an autumn color tree, and in many cases it's quite shocking for the senior management team discovering this reality. But this is good news. If the tree would have been green from the beginning, we would probably have lost our precious time building it, because the organization is already very close to achieving its goal. On the other hand, having a tree with a lot of red and amber means that the time was wisely invested in building the goal tree and assessing the current reality. Now, with a lot on our plate, we have to decide how to green up the tree. Because the colors propagate themselves from bottom to top, we have to start from the bottom. The rationale behind that is that the goal on top of the tree lays still far in the future, but the necessary conditions on the very bottom of the tree are the ones that are needed first. So they are the closest to the present time, and there is no way to make progress if those necessary conditions are not secured first. You may argue, with so many red and amber, where to start? From my experience, I would recommend to choose to green up a branch which is the most urgently needed to work perfectly, or the branch that is the easiest to green up, so that the system can benefit and we can celebrate the success quickly. I would not recommend to try to green up every basic necessary condition layer after layer, because usually the topics would be very different and there is some risk to spread the teams and resources thin on too many subjects at once, and it may take longer to make a significant improvement. Another recommendation is to keep the first colored assessment as a snapshot of the reality after the first assessment, and to compare periodically how the tree is greening up with comparison to this first snapshot. Checking the actual colors of the tree is a visual indication, good enough to grasp the whole situation without diving into every detail. I hope you have found some value in this video. If so, give me a thumb up, and if you like it, share it. See you soon.